మేడం కనిపిస్తున్నారు. ఓకే మేడం, బాగా కనిపిస్తున్నారు. ఓకే మేడం, మైక్ ఆన్ చేస్తారా?
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు మేడం. గోపాల్ గారు, వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు మేడం దగ్గర. మేడం వస్తుందా మీ వాయిస్? మా వాయిస్ వినపడుతుందా? మీ వాయిస్ వినపట్టలేదు. మేడం ల్యాప్టాప్ లోనా లేకపోతే మొబైల్ ఫోన్లోనా మీది? మొబైల్.
సార్ మేడం సార్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ చేసి మళ్ళీ కనెక్ట్ అవ్వమని చెప్పండి సార్, సేమ్ లింక్ కి.
మేడం ఒకసారి మీరు డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయ్యి మళ్ళా ఆన్ చేయండి, బయటకు వచ్చి మళ్ళీ రండి. ఇప్పుడు మైక్ ఆన్ చేయండి మేడం. సంబడి కెన్ గైడ్ మేడం. మన వాయిస్ మేడంకి వెళ్తుంది, బట్ మేడం వాయిస్ మన దగ్గర రావట్లేదు.
Ma'am, reconnect it. Just leave the meeting and reconnect it, ma'am.
Already she has done the same. మేడం ఒకవేళ ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ ట్రై చేయండి ఒకసారి. ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ మేడం రీకనెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. యాక్చువల్లీ మేడంకి ల్యాప్టాప్ అయితే కరెక్ట్ అయింది.
అవును. మేడం ఇప్పుడు వస్తున్నట్టుంది చూడండి.
హలో,
వాయిస్. ఎస్ ఎస్ ఎస్.
ఓకే,
వస్తుంది మేడం, వాయిస్ వస్తుంది.
వాయిస్
వస్తుంది. మీరు ఫోటో ఫ్రేమ్ కరెక్ట్ గా పెట్టుకోండి చాలు.
రైట్ రైట్ రైట్. ఓకే ఓకే.
ఒక చోట స్టాండ్ బై చేసేయండి. అడ్డంగా పెట్టారు.
అదా ఎలుగుగా పెట్టినా.
ఓకే మేడం.
జస్ట్ వెయిట్.
కరెక్ట్ పొజిషన్ ఉంది. రైట్, ఇది కరెక్ట్ పొజిషన్ ఉంది.
రైట్ లైక్ దిస్. జస్ట్ వెయిట్. ఓకే
ఓకే మేడం.
రైట్ రైట్.
ఓకే.
సో గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
Good morning, ma'am.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
Very good morning to all. I am Dr. Prasad Babu, Assistant Regional Director, IGNOU Regional Center, Vijayawada. Today we have with Dr. T.D. Vimla Madam. She is a faculty of psychology and currently she is working as a psychologist in the university, Nagarjuna University, Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur. And as per the guidelines issued by the Delhi headquarters, so we are conducting the online practical counseling session today. So as per the Delhi headquarters guidelines, we have to conduct 1 or 2 sessions for the guiding the students how to write the practical component. Generally, we used to conduct practical component face-to-face mode only. Due to pandemic situation, Delhi headquarters has given the guidelines to conduct the online mode. So for online mode, we have to do the 6 practical components. For all 6 components, we have already provided guidelines to you all through mail, and same in the Google Meet link also we have given the link for the guidelines. So I think all the students would have gone through the videos. Now madam will explain to you each component. Before that, just small information I want to tell you. So after the theory examinations, I think your theory examinations will be starting from March 23rd or 24th.
Sir,
So
17 March. 17 March, sir.
March 25th, sir. 25th to 31st.
March 25th to 31st. So examinations are starting, university examinations starting from March 4th to April 10th or 11th, up to April 10th or 11th. So in between 25th to 31st, your examination, theory examination. After theory examination, we will conduct the practical examination. So I think April 10th onwards, 1 week before, we will inform you all the students. Those who have joined for the January 2020 session students only eligible for the practical examination. For remaining July 2021 session students, please attend this class and prepare your record and submit to the regional center. After the April month, we will inform you when you have to submit. Just you listen this lecture and prepare your records and keep it with you. Along with your assignments, you have to submit your record. So July 2021 session students need not submit now itself. So when you are going to submit your assignments, along with the assignments, you have to submit your practical record. So how to write practical record and all things, I will just inform you. So each practical component you have to prepare 5 to 6 pages matter. Each component already we have guidelines. Delhi headquarters people already given the guidelines. We have forwarded to you all. So please read all the information here. So first practical is the social learning theory and social cognitive theory. So
Cognitive learning.
experiment it will be here. After watching the Bobadal experiment in the video, you have to answer the 3 questions here. Difference between social learning theory and social cognition theory. So you read our cognitive psychology material, or you can go to the Google website, Google, search the material and what you understand through video. So please write difference between the both the theories. So second question, applications of social learning theory. Third question, based on the theory and its application, do you think violence is contagious? So what you have understand in the theory, so you have to write your own for this question. All these 3 questions you have to write answers for the 5 to 6 pages. A4 sheet papers, A4 white sheet papers. One side you have to write the answers. So front page you have to write practical MAPC, practical MPCL 007. Write down your name, enrollment number, your study center name, regional center name, mobile number, email ID. All these components front page you have to write. Your practical course code MPCL 007 and your name, enrollment number, program code, your mobile number, email ID, your study center, regional center. So all the information in the top page you have to write. After that, content page, how many experiments you have done. So 6 experiments you are going to do. So all the 6 experiments you have to write each one, and opposite to practical each component, which page to which page. So content page. Second page is the content page. Third page, already in your practical component booklet, one certificate is there. You take out the Xerox copy of the certificate, you fill the certificate form. In that, academic counselor signature and external evaluator signature. Those things don't write anything. Just you fill whatever columns related to you, you fill it. Internal examiner marks will be given by the Vimla madam and myself. After that, external examiner will call you for the Vijayawada. During that time, you have to give the answers for the Vijayawada. So for writing the record and today session, 50 marks, 50. So writing the record and till submission. So on time, if you submit, you will get full marks, not 50 marks. We provided the out of 50 attendance and writing the material, on time submission, everything we will see, and based on that 50 marks out of, we give the whatever marks you get and will give. So 20 marks is the pass mark for the internal evaluation, and external evaluation also 20 marks is the pass. Both will together you have to get 40 marks, then only you are eligible to get the pass. So both the component internal and external you have to get 20 plus 20, minimum 20 plus 20, then only you are eligible to get the pass. Suppose if you get practical record 15 marks and Vijayawada 20 marks, 35, you will be failed. So please keep it in your mind and prepare the record neatly and submit to the regional center Vijayawada directly to regional director or myself. So suppose if you are unable to come to regional center Vijayawada, please send it by post. So when you have to submit this record is this month end. Is it sufficient to you submission for the record? 20
No, sir.
This month.
Month ending లో submit చేయాలా?
Yes. Or otherwise March 31st.
Okay.
Sir,
That's
both the
better.
batches, రెండు batches
No.
March 31st.
Only January 2020 batch, 21 batch only have to submit records now.
Okay.
So July batch, I will tell you later. So along with your assignments, you have to submit. So now January 2021 admission batch, those who are going to write the term and examination, these people have to submit your records March 31st, your last exam. So I will give the April 5th Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
April
okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
April 5th is the last date to submit your record to the regional center. So we are planning to conduct the examination first week or second week. So April 5th on or before, you have to bring to regional center, or you can send it by post. So Dr. B. Prasad Babu, Assistant Regional Director, IGNOU Regional Center, Vijayawada. You can send it by post. So this is the information.
Sir, can you give the address, full address, so that I can post by mail?
We are giving the two options. You can write your own handwriting, or you can type it also. Both the options we are giving. Whichever convenient to you, you can prepare it. And if you type it in each paper, you have to sign on the bottom of the page, because this is my own, like that, self-attestation. So handwritten, there is no need of signature on each page, but typed matter in each page you have to sign and submit. So
మార్క్స్ లో తేడా ఉంటుందా సార్ ఇలా చేయడం వల్ల?
Sir, repeat the questions, sir. Repeat the questions, sir.
There is no difference, sir. If you are writing or if you are typing, there is no difference. We give the equal marks only.
Okay, thank you.
Can we type
Sir,
it, sir?
repeat the question, sir.
So you can type it or you can write it, handwritten or A4 sheet. If you are typing Arial 12 font, you have to use, and double spacing, and top bottom 1 inch space required, and side 1.2, this side 1 inch. So APA format you have to follow in the typing matter. So Arial 12 or times New Roman 12, double spacing you have to maintain. All the heading should be in the bold. Handwritten, whatever convenient, you can write it, sketch pens or headings or like that. So already you are experienced with graduation and intermediate level. You have written records. Those who are arts background, they can write now. So
we can send it color also, sir. రిటర్న్ లో కావచ్చు, లేదంటే కలర్ కూడా రాయొచ్చు, అంటే స్కెచ్ పెన్స్ యూజ్ చేయడము.
అంటే హెడ్డింగ్స్ మాత్రమే స్కెచ్ పెన్స్ సార్.
మ్యాటర్
బ్లూ ఆర్ బ్లాక్.
ప్రింటింగ్ లో కూడా
Can you repeat the questions? Sir, can you repeat the questions again?
No. Already we have sent the guidelines. You can check your guidelines. All the questions available, and madam will explain to you in each component. After that, you can prepare your own words. And if you have still not getting material, you can go to the Google search and get the information. Make it your own matter and write. Don't copy it directly from Google. You search the material, find the material, and you can read the material. After that, make it your own and write the information what we have asked the questions in the guidelines. So each practical should be 5 to 6 pages. So total 6 practicals, 30 to 40 pages. You make it the practical record. Okay. So all clear. So internal evaluation for record 50 marks, external evaluation 50 marks. So external evaluation after submission of record, we will conduct the Viva OC in face-to-face mode or online mode. That time we will decide which mode we are going to conduct the examination. So those who are eligible to write the practical examination is those who have paid the examination fee, term and examination 2021 December session only eligible to write the practical examination. If anybody failed to pay the fee, regional university has given the option this month 28th onwards, you approach the regional center. So pay the 1,300 rupees fee and attend the practical examination. So 2 days university has given option 28th, 29th, 30th. Bring the 1,300 rupees DD and submit to the regional center and attend the practical examination. Otherwise, you have to attend the next session practical exam only. If anybody failed to pay the practical examination fee, if already paid, don't worry about that. Okay.
Pardon, sir. Sir, fees will be paid among with the written exam only.
So if you paid 7 papers, don't worry about that. If you paid only 6 theory papers, you have to pay practical exam. If you paid 7 papers 1400 rupees, you are allowed to write the exam.
Okay.
Now, along with today, we are conducting the practical session for the both the sessions, January 2021 and July 2021 sessions. And along with us, Pune Regional Center students also watching through Facebook and Twitter. So welcome to Pune Regional Center students also. Please watch the this practical counseling session. Our Dr. T.D. Vimla Madam will explain to you. Regional Director Dr. D.R. Sharma and Assistant Regional Director Dr. Saunan. Thank you very much, sir, for participating in our practical counseling session, your students and your regional center learners. Thank you, madam. Madam, you can start now, madam.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prasad Babu garu. And I think, is it audible?
In between, I will come also. Even after the madam lecture, again, I will talk with you. If you have any doubts, after the session, we will clarify.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Please carry on.
Okay, right. Is it audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Good morning to everybody. Till now,
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes. Till now, I think you have understood what exactly the administrative procedures are for submitting the record and attending the practical examination. Now, we are going to discuss about some of the aspects of psychology practicals, what psychology practicals are and how you have to proceed. So before going that, because majority of the students for psychology MA are from different backgrounds, and the practicals in psychology is a new area to many of the students. From the childhood, everybody knows what botany practicals are, what zoology practicals, what about physics and all the things. But the psychology practicals is a new concept. What do you do in psychology practicals? This is what is psychology practicals and what do you do in this? So this is a major question for many of us, so that you can have an understanding of what psychology practicals are. As you know that in physics, it is very easy to understand. In physics practicals, what do you do? So you will do certain experiments and find the end. The end product is the quantification of physical material. You will simply, I can say that you will measure the length. You will measure the weight. You will measure the circumference. Like that, you will just measure and put it a number for physical objects, whether it is a weight or length or width or whatever is that. Similarly, in psychology, what we do is, we measure the psychological components of people. This is psychological components. What are the psychological components? And we will quantify them in psychology practicals. What do you do is here. What are the psychological components? You might have studied in the first paper, cognitive psychology. Before that, I will tell you very simply what exactly, because most of the time, because of the pandemic and other reasons, the majority of the students may not be able to attend some of the contact classes or so. Hence, I will tell you what exactly in a simple one sentence, and we will go to this. Psychology is a systematic science which deals with the study of behavior. The study of behavior. We study both animal and human behavior also. We will conduct experiments on animals and even on human beings also. So, systematic study of behavior. So, why should we study behavior and say that the person is behaving in this way, in this way, in this way, in this way? There is a need. So, the basic objective is, what we do in psychology is, we will find out why a person is behaving in the way. What are the reasons behind that? It is a scientific approach. There are, just like a doctor finding the reasons for the symptoms, we also found the reasons for the behavior of people. Why the particular person is very active, why the particular person is very aggressive. Like that, there are reasons, similar reasons. For that, in medical field, what do? They will do diagnostic tests and find out because of the disturbances in this area, this is the symptoms they are experiencing. Similarly, we also study different components of behavior. Like you might be knowing about, we will study about perception, motivation, learning, thinking, emotions, like that. These are some of the things we study in your general psychology, that is cognitive psychology. So these are the components of behavior and the brain. So wherever, if there is any defect in any of these areas, then the individual is having the particular symptoms. So these are the causative factors for behavior. So hence we try to find out, measure the components of behavior. These are the psychological components of behavior. We measure and we quantify it and put a number. That is what we do in psychology practicals. We measure memory, we measure learning, we measure emotions, all the things, intelligence, perceptions, all this we measure and quantify them. Quantification is the best way to express and to make it understand to everybody. So quantification means that we are making it scientific so that anybody can understand it. So that is what we do in psychology practicals. That means we are measuring the psychological components, and along with this we will do experiments and we will find out some of the principles of psychology which are being already existing in the in theories. So we will conduct experiments, we will assess, we will measure and we will quantify them. In this manner we will find out the reasons for the particular behavior. Why the person is having depression, why the particular person is having aggression, what are the reasons behind that. So this is a scientific procedure. I am again repeating, it is not a common sense finding of reasons. With our common sense we say this may be the reason, this may be. That is not psychology. Psychology is totally a science like medicine, I can say that. We will scientifically find out the reasons and by using the diagnostic techniques, diagnostic measures. These are what we call them as assessments. So in psychology what we do is we measure psychological components of behavior and we quantify and we give a number. So whatever experiment you do, the final product will be a number. So but there is a little bit difference between practicals in physics and practicals in psychology. In practical in physics, we are conducting experiments with the non-living things like matter. Hence, always the number is constant. But in psychology, we are conducting experiments with what I can say that human beings, human behavior, which is always fluctuating, which is never constant, which fluctuates. Hence, we don't say a single number for the behavior, we will just make a range of scores. So if you get a score from, suppose if it is intelligent, if you get a score from 90 to 110, we call them as average. So that means majority of the time we will give range of scores, not the exact number like in physics. So that is the only difference. So n number of factors has an impact on our behavior. So hence and fluctuating and changing all through. Hence it is a conscious animal, conscious, and we know that we are conscious. This is a big thing. Hence it differs. Hence we take a range of scores for assessing a person. So this is about psychology. Practicals what we are doing. So this you should be clear. We are quantifying the psychological components of behavior with a quantifying with a range scores. Range scores. In our interpretation, whatever is based on the range, we will interpret the score. So this we know. So coming to the psychology practicals, what are the important aspects of psycho? So I think you are clear about what do you do in psychology. We will assess. Yes. After this, let us understand what are the specific terms and terminology which we use in psychology while conducting practicals or while conducting the experiments. What do you do? So the very first thing is we use two terms. One is a subject and other is experimenter. The person or the group of people on whom you are conducting the experiment are called subjects in psychology. Subjects are the persons on whom we are conducting. Suppose I am conducting an experiment on some Sri Hari. That Sri Hari is called as subject, and the person who is conducting the experiment is called an experimenter. These are the terms. Subjects. Suppose even if I am conducting an experiment with animals, we call them as subjects. Subject is the term which we use in psychology practicals. The person on whom you are conducting is called as a subject, and the person who is conducting the experiment is called an experimenter. These are the two important things. You have to remember the terminology, subject and experimenter. And the third word which is very important in psychology practicals is the instruction. This is the key and the key point while conducting the experiment. Instruction. So, you will instruct your subject to do some activity or to do something, and then you will assess. This is the process. You will ask your subject. As an experimenter, I ask my subject to do some work, to do some aspect, to understand and write this, to answer these questions. Like that, I will ask my subject. So, this instruction, what I am giving to the instruction to the subject is the key for the accuracy of our experiment. While giving instruction, the main important point is the subject should understand. I am using the term subject again and again so that you will be used with the term. The subject should understand whatever you say. You can repeat it a number of times till the subject understands. Most of the times you will make it in their own language. When you should not feel that once I have given the instruction, it is over. No, the subject has to understand the instructions. Sometimes you may ask the subject to reflect back, to repeat back what I have given, so that we are clear that what he understood is what we are intended to get it from him. So this is very, very, very important. Instruction, the subject should understand the instructions. So that's why in most of the times, in majority of the experiment, the instructions are given in bold letters and you have to just read out. Don't use a word more or word less than the instructions given by the test maker, by the test creator. He gives some instructions more. If the person is not able to understand, then you can explain. That's all. So, other than that, you are not supposed to do anything. So, instructions are very important. This is another term which we have to use. So, in most of the times, and the experiment should be always conducted on a person who is normal. Means, don't conduct experiments on persons who is suffering with fever or some other ailment. They should be comfortable. This is most important thing. So the scores will change. Another important thing is there are certain tests. Usually the tests may be of two types. You will have personality tests and you will have ability tests. And all the tests, why should you use this testing at all? One is for clinical purpose, we use testing. If the person is suffering with depression or anger or some other problem, adjustment problem, we will conduct tests. For selecting persons for a job, you will the personality tests are being conducted. So every job needs, along with the abilities and knowledge, certain personality traits. Hence, we will conduct tests on their person. Suppose I am selecting a person for a, what I can say that for a marketing. Along with the marketing qualifications, whatever he is having, he should have the personality of influencing people and communication skills. All these are the personality traits which are needed along with the abilities. Every job needs some personality and abilities. So for conducting that, for job selections, we use psychological tests. For clinical purpose, we use psychological tests. And thirdly, we use psychological tests for guiding a person, clinical in career guidance or whatever is that, in guiding children, we use psychological tests to understand the person and to guide that. So in counseling and in all these things, clinical purpose, we use these tests. These are the utility of these tests. And other important thing is ethics are very, very important while conducting tests. Don't call anybody as a low intelligent person or high intelligent without purpose. We are not supposed to say to conduct any test without purpose. Don't do it casually. Without purpose, you are not supposed to do any clinical testing. And the consent of the person is also very important. The consent. These are some ethical processes. And don't label them. This is important. Labeling a person as a retarded person or a gifted person, it has an impact on his future behavior. If you label a person, especially in psychological tests, if you label a person with you are having this personality or like that, it has an impact on his future behavior and future decisions and future style of living. Hence, don't label anybody. That's one important thing. So these are the basic things which you have to understand about psychological things. Following the ethics is very, very, very important. Yes. So now we are coming to the practical aspects of. So I think you are clear about what psychology practicals are. This understanding is very much needed while conducting psychology tests. You should be very, very cautious. You should be very cautious while conducting the test. Don't say, don't label, don't conduct casually. Don't do that. Don't do that. Unless there is a need, you are not supposed to conduct that. Okay?
Yes,
so you understood.
One minute of small announcement, madam. After that, continue.
Yes.
Regarding this practical counseling session, Regional Center Vijayawada students, along with our students, Pune Regional Center students also attending through Facebook and YouTube. For them, for Pune Regional Center students, small announcement. So your practical records should submit through online link only. There is no need to submit physically at Regional Center Pune. Already Pune Regional Center, they have sent a link where you have to submit your practical record. So please send it online record only through that which they have sent online link to you already through email. So you can submit your project practical record, make it one PDF and submit through which they have given the link. Through that link only you can submit your practical record. This is the information for Pune Regional Center. Vijayawada Regional Center students, they can submit offline mode only, by physically or by post only. Thank you. Madam, continue.
Okay. So these are the basic things about psychology practicals, how you have to do, what are the terminology you have to use, what is the importance and how carefully you have to do. And other important thing is, do not disturb the subject while doing the practical. Don't disturb them. Give him the comfortable condition to attend even though the practical might take 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever is there, the time is very short, but you are not supposed to disturb him in between. This is also very, very important instruction. And you have to conduct experiment only to the persons who are normal, not suffering with any fever or any ill health, and they should be comfortably seated. So these are the basic information about psychology practicals, so that because this is the first session, I made you to understand what do you do in psychology practicals and how we have to use it, where these practicals are being used. And now lot of experiments are being conducted. You are having cognitive psychology, even in Bangalore, NIMHANS, they are conducting, and ICSS are also, they are conducting experiment with monkeys on cognitive behavior. So we use animals also for experimentation. Most of the time we use animals for experimentation also. Even then we call them as subjects. Okay.
I think ma'am B.F.
Then,
Skinner used the animals.
yes, yes,
B.F.
yes,
Skinner.
yes, yes. Skinner also used. Even now we are using the monkeys and chimpanzees who are having almost the, of course, the 3 or 4 years age group intelligence and brain structure is almost similar to human beings. That's why we are using animal subjects. Coming to our practicals, you are given 6 practicals to do. The first practical is social cognitive theory, and a link was given on Babu doll experiment. I think most of you might have seen that experiment where a child kicks a doll like that. A big doll is there, and the child kicks it, hits it, and after that another child comes and it also hits, and the other person also comes, it hits. This is the experiment which was conducted by Bandura, was given to you in your link. I think most of you might have observed that. I'm very sorry to say that very recently Bandura passed away. The great psychologist who has made lot of changes, who made lot of contribution to psychology, I can say, especially for social learning. He passed away very recently at age of 90 or so. So his contribution to psychology is unforgettable, and it made a lot of changes in psychology. Okay. Coming to our aspect, social cognitive theory is the contribution of Bandura. So I will tell you briefly what social cognitive theory is. It is there. You can go through, but I will give you a brief introduction so that you can search in Google or somewhere in textbooks or somewhere for more details. I'm not giving the entire details of the theory, but social cognitive theories. Even before that, cognitive theories are there. You might be knowing, being a student of psychology of IGNOU, cognitive psychology is your first paper. Most of you might be knowing what cognitive psychology is. What are the components of cognition? There are mainly 4 components of cognition which you might be knowing. What are the main components? Can anybody say, or I will do? Okay, I will tell you. There are main 4 components of cognition. Means basically an understanding. It is a higher mental process where 4 things: your perception, your learning, your thinking, and your brain structure, that is intelligence. Basic hardcore is brain. So all these 4 together will make you to understand a event or understand a behavior. These are the higher mental abilities. 4 mental abilities together. One is perception, second is learning, which includes memory also, second learning, and third thing is your thinking process, and fourth is the structure of the brain, hardcore. So all these 4 together will make you to understand a situation, understand a person, or whatever is that. Based on your understanding, your behavior follows. So this is about cognitive psychology I had done. This is about cognition earlier. So all the cognitives, even learning also, the cognitive psychologist, the basic thing is they focused on these 4 things. Only 4 things related to an individual. Bandura, who thought that one of the major important factor, we are always thinking about the individual level. What about the environment where we are living? Social environment, which is missing. The impact of this is missing in cognitive theories. And he has he made the theory social cognitive theory is that you are important, and where you are important is also more important. Where you are living decides your behavior. That means your environment, social environment decides your behavior. So Bandura added social cognitive theory. His cognitive theory is called as social cognitive theory. First time in the history of cognitive psychology, the social aspect was included for studying the behavior of individuals. So this is that. What he said is, the individual's behavior consists of cognitions, behavior, and the environment where he is living, that is social environment. These three are the determinants of behavior. His social cognitive theory says social situations, his cognitions. Cognition is, I told you what cognition means. Cognition consists of so many things. Your environment, cognition, and your behavior. All these three are these are the three components what he included in his social cognitive theory. And what he said is, these three are not static. These three are not static. They are reciprocal. Means each one depends on other person. Reciprocal. The behavior depends on environment. The environment depends upon the cognition. And the cognition depends upon the behavior. This is, he made a triangular form. And each one depend on other things. So this is his social cognitive theory. Social cognitive theory. These three are reciprocal. Don't take they are static. Only this way they are affecting. No. Everybody has an impact on every other component of the cognition. So he introduced this first time. Bandura introduced the social cognitive theory. So there is difference between cognitive theories and social cognitive theory. The social aspect was not included in cognitive theories. So Bandura is the person who introduced the social cognitive theory. This is one important thing. This is a social cognitive theory. So, and other important concept which he has given about the social cognitive theory is, people learn by observing things otherwise in the environment. But the people learn by observing the environment in a social situation, and how do they understand depends upon their cognition and behavior. How do they understand that? Everybody says the same thing, but my understanding is different from your understanding. So I am teaching, I am telling something. Every individual's understanding is different. It differs from person to person. The absorption of my lecture differs from person to person. So that is the very important thing we have to, that is what Bandura has given. This is the second aspect. And the next is the, and he also added one more thing in his cognitive theory, the concept of self-efficacy. Self-efficacy determines our behavior. Self-efficacy, which is the first term, the word self-efficacy was used by Bandura. Self-efficacy means the belief I am having abilities and believing my abilities. Having abilities is not sufficient. Unless I had a belief on those abilities, I don't pursue the activity. I'm having abilities. It doesn't sufficient. It is not sufficient for me. I'm having abilities, but I don't pursue in social activity unless I had a belief that I am having these abilities. This belief of my own abilities is called as self-efficacy. Is the term which he used. Self-efficacy is having the abilities and believing my own abilities. This is, if you don't have the belief, you don't pursue your abilities. You don't know about it. If you don't believe, I may do it or may not, means I don't do that. So this is self-efficacy is the another term which he used. This is about Bandura's social cognitive theory. So I think you are clear about this social cognitive theory. 3 reciprocal components he has given, and he said about self-efficacy and the cognition. He has given an importance for cognition. This is about social cognitive theory. Then coming to the social learning theory. This was also given by Bandura. That is cognitive theory, and this is learning theory. So learning is part of cognition. You remember that I told you cognition consists of 4 components and learning is one part of cognitive theory, cognition. Hence, cognitive theory is the base, and the learning theory, he then from that cognitive theory, he brought the social learning theories. Till Bandura, all the theories of learning theories are based on reward and punishment, as somebody is telling about Skinner, reward and punishment, conditioning, imitation, and cognition. Like that, individual level only. No learning theory focused on environment, society, social conditions. So the first social learning theory was proposed by Bandura. I think in 1959 or so he proposed that theory. So he said in his social learning theory, he proposed three reciprocal components. Three reciprocal components like behavior, personal factors, and environment. He said, he didn't say cognition here, personal factors. These are the three reciprocal components of social learning theory. Social learning theory, there are three components. One is behavior, second is personal factors, and third is the environment. So all these three work reciprocally for learning. That cognition is different. This is a learning theory. Let us come back to learning theories. This is a social learning theory. This is the first concept of social learning theory. The second concept is self-systems. What he said about self-systems. There are, self means yourself. How do you think about yourself? In the self-system has given self-observation. Self-observation means we look ourselves. Self-observation. I am looking myself and I am observing myself. My behaviors, my successes, my interactions. All this I am observing myself. This is self-observation and self-judgment, and then self-efficacy, again self-efficacy. So all these were given as the components of self-system, he said. All these things are called as self-system. Reciprocal thing, and the second thing is self-system. And third thing he proposed is observational learning. Here comes the experiment which was given to you by the authorities. Okay? Self-observational learning is one of the component of Bandura's social learning theory. Okay? So, first thing is about reciprocal determinants, and second is on self-system. Thirdly, he talked about observational learning, where you have seen the Babu doll experiment, where by observing the first child hitting the doll, everybody came and they hit the doll. This is what you observed. Video. So, here he has given the other concept also. This is what you observed there. In continuation to that, he continued the experiment further. And what he did is, when a person came, when a clown like that, like a doll, was in the other room, the children came and hit the clown also. It is not the doll, but they thought that the doll and the clown are having the similarities. They came and hit the doll, hit the clown, thinking, modeling, taking the model from the doll. So modeling also was given by, so this continuation of this experiment, modeling also takes place. And there is another thing is in modeling process. In modeling process, why that child is hitting this clown is because of the earlier experience, the retention process, what has already happened. The retention process also included, and attention process, retention, and the reproduction of the process, and the motivational process. These are the four processes which are included for hitting the clown. And this is about the observation learning. And third thing is about vicarious learning. That is the question you are having. This also given by Bandura social learning theory. Observational learning, modeling, and vicarious learning. So in the learning from this is vicarious learning is learning from other people's behavior. Vicarious learning is learning from other people's behavior. So there is a question on aggression also. Is aggression vicarious? Like that you are having a question. So you have to think and you individual observes the behavior of other persons and follow that other person's behavior is called as vicarious learning. So these are some of the things about this social learning theory. So I told you about what is social cognitive theory, social learning theory, and observational learning about the experiment, and modeling also I told you about that, how modeling takes place, and vicarious learning. So that's why there are questions on vicarious learning also. Is aggression vicarious? Looking at that, is it vicarious? Because seeing the models in the TV fighting and aggressively behaving, the children are imitating. So if one person is aggressive, the otherly, it is a vicarious behavior. Just not thinking anything, but because the other person is doing, we will do that. So you will justify and write down some of the things about that. So this is about the first experiment in this group. Okay, I think you are clear about that. You can answer those questions. With a little bit of help, you can take from your textbook also. There are experiments was given there in your textbook. You can take from there and you can do the thing. Coming to the second aspect of this is multiple intelligence theory. On Howard's multiple intelligence theory, they has given a lecture on that. Because this is the first one is a longer thing, second and third things, the theory part is very less, because you don't understand the first, this social cognitive theory and social learning theory. There is a little bit minor differences. That's why I explained you along. But let us come to the second question is about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, intelligence types. Here also I will tell you a basic things about intelligence a little bit. Intelligence earlier, intelligence from 1935 onwards, the intelligence is being measured by using the IQ, one score. IQ with one score. The total intelligence is nothing but the ability of the individual. It is the ability of the individual in various aspects. With this ability, he is able to adapt himself to the situation, make good interpersonal relations, and make use potential for the growth and benefit of the society. Then we can call him as an intelligent person. So, intelligence was defined as a global component, global abilities means the total abilities of an individual was calculated and given one number, that is IQ number, and they said that this is intelligence earlier. But after some time, and I think in 80s, 70s and 80s, there are group of theories came who said intelligence is not one thing. First it was specific and general intelligence theory, then multiple factors were assessed. Even multiple factors, the total score is the indication of your intelligence. Whether it is a number of 100 or 120 or 130, one number is given to depict your intelligence level, IQ, through IQ. But later a group of, I can say scientists came back, just among them Harvard, Gardner, Guilford and Sternberg. These three are very important group of people who said intelligence is not one number. There are different types of intelligence exist. One person may be good at one thing, maybe having higher ability in one aspect. So we can't say that the total is less. We can't say he is a less intelligent person. Yes? So that's why they said that in Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, you might be knowing about that. He identified 8 type of it became very, very popular even for career guidance. Because he said there are 8 types of intelligence. Language intelligence, kinesthetic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal, mathematical, reasoning, like that, existential intelligence, like that he has given different types of intelligence. Different types of, suppose that is a small test given at 30 or 40 questions are there. By answering it, in which area you got the highest score, you are having more of that intelligence. and the remaining areas also you are good, but you are not that much good. You are having average and below average, so that we can understand ourselves where we are good. And he said, suppose you are having linguistic intelligence more, you are suitable for the post like editors, language writers, like that. He has given the posts also. If you pursue your career in those lines, you will be successful. If you are having more intelligence in interpersonal relations, you can pursue you can become a politician, you can become a teacher, you can become they are very good at interpersonal relations. Like that, he has given the direction also to which, so for a student to go the area, they have to choose based on their intelligence. So this is about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence scale. So, and based on that, there are three I told you: Guilford, Gardner, Howard Gardner multiple intelligence scale, and third is Sternberg's. This is your question is on Sternberg's theory. That's what he said. He said there are three types of intelligence, three types of factors he has identified. One is metacognitive, and the second one is experiential, and third is contextual. Three types. One is metacognitive, which includes your reasoning, your knowledge, what I can say, that information, reasoning, knowledge, and all calculations, all this. This is academic. You may be academically 100% very good. When you come to that contextual, you may not be able to do. When COVID is the example given in your test. When COVID comes, I am having a high intellect in academics, but I am not able to adapt myself to COVID situation. Those won't help me to do this. So he said that these three types of intelligence, metacognitive intelligence, experiential intelligence, experiential, with our experience also we develop certain of the faculties and we try to adapt to the situation. And the contextual intelligence, so what we call them as a street smart people, so they can adapt themselves wherever they go, they can achieve the things whatever they want with their smartness. That is contextual intelligence. In the particular context, how intelligent you are in a particular context. So the question is in your thing is, in the COVID, and there is an argument on this. Is the contextual intelligence is everything? No, it is one part. It helps to adapt ourselves efficiently, effectively. You can adapt with high contextual intelligence, but the other things are also important. So there is a question on this contextual intelligence. So that is about your second experiment, right? Clear about this, I think. Anybody say yes? Are you clear about it? Yes. Yes. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Then you can understand this. If you understand this, you can write down whether contextual intelligence is alone sufficient or any other thing. Yes, it needs some more. Only contextual intelligence is not sufficient. We need some experiential intelligence and also this metacognitive intelligence, right? Academic intelligence is also, reasoning is also needed. Then coming to the third part of this is conducting an interview with an elderly man. That is the question. Yes?
Ma'am, 1 minute, madam.
Yes.
Regarding second practical, introduction part, you have to write about the intelligence. After that, definition of intelligence. After the theories of intelligence, and then you have to answer the question. Read the different theories of intelligence as well as the Sternberg article and write your interpretation about true intelligence is. So, brief introduction about intelligence, after that definition of intelligence, after that theories of intelligence, each theory just you can write a few lines. After that, what you have understand, and that you can write for 3 to 4 pages. Next, madam, continue.
Yes. Now the third question is about the interview method and they asked you to conduct an interview with elderly a old adult, I think, elderly adult means, yes, is it elderly adult? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Older
Yes, ma'am.
adult.
Yes,
Yes.
older adult. Yes, older adult. You have to conduct the interview. So let us understand. You have to write something about, as Dr. Prasad Babu is telling. You have to write about what interview is first. Interview is, it is a face-to-face conversation with a purpose. All face-to-face conversations are not interviews. I am having a purpose and I am talking with you. So this is interview means, the definition means, it is a face-to-face conversation with a purpose, where there are three terms are used. The person who is conducting the interview is called an interviewer, and the person or whom you are conducting an interview is called as an interviewee, and the process you are following is called as interview process. So these are the three terms which we use in conducting interviews: interviewer, interviewee, and interviewing process. So these are the three important things. So in an interview, why do you conduct interviews? Is basically, we'll conduct interviews for clinical purpose. If you go to a psychiatrist or psychologist, they will ask you with a purpose of knowing about your psychological status, they will conduct an interview. The purpose is clinical, to understand the reason behind your symptom, behind your problem. This is a clinical interview we are conducting. My purpose is to know about the reasons for your present behavior. That's why I am asking questions. Another type of interview is, we will conduct interview in selections of jobs, to know about your knowledge, to know about your application, to know about your communication skills, and to know about your personality. How assertive you are, how confident you are. All these things, personality traits, we will conduct interview. Sometimes we will conduct interview to gather information from you also. To gather information also. So all these are the purpose of intelligence, purpose of interviews. So in this interview, there are, I told you about interviewer, interviewee, and interviewing process. Coming to the process, how you have to conduct an interview is interviewing process. The very first thing in any interview is rapport building. Means, you should not make the interviewee afraid of you. He should feel free and express his feeling. You should make him comfortable. Making the interviewee comfortable is by your dress, by your conversation, by your mannerisms. You have to make the interviewee comfortable with you. Comfortable with you. Sometimes if you are with a modern dress, you went to a very low economic status and very poor old elderly person for collecting data, they may not accept you as their person, as their group. They may be hesitant. So you should be, your language, your dress, and all they should make the interviewee comfortable with them. This is one important thing. This is rapport building. After building rapport, you have to conduct interview. There are two types of conducting interviews. Two processes we can use usually. One is structured interviews, other is unstructured interviews. Structured interviews and unstructured interviews. In structured interviews, what do you do is, I am having a purpose. Interview itself is with a purpose. I am talking with the person. Hence, before conducting the interview, I will make down some of the questions to find out the information from the other person. I am structuring the questions. What questions I have to ask? What is the order of the questions? How I have to present? All this, if I didn't, this is structured interviews. I want to ask the same 10 questions to all the persons. These are structured. Already I structured my interview because of the preliminary information I am having regarding my client antum. In psychological setting, in counseling process, we call them as client. In experiments, we call them as subject. There is a difference. If we come for counseling, we call them as client. If it is an experiment, we call them as subjects. Okay. So in the process, structured, all the questions are structured earlier. We don't go away from the structure of the questions while conducting the experiment, for conducting the interview. There is another method, and where I will keep in my mind what is the information I wanted to get from the client or from the person or the interviewee. So again, I have to use the term interviewee, not client, not subject. I have to call him as interviewee only. What is the information I want to get it from interviewee? I'm having a overall idea of information what I want from the interviewee. Hence, I start asking questions. This is called as unstructured interview. I don't write down the questions. I'll just go on asking till I get the information which I wanted. This is called as unstructured interview. The structured interview, already I plan the questions. And this in unstructured interview, I don't plan the questions. I will go on asking whatever comes to my mind till I get the information what I wanted. So these are the two types. So there are certain advantages in structured questions, so that in structured questions, we don't miss the information here. But sometimes in structured interview, if you follow the rules of the structured interview, we are not supposed to ask any other question for clarification or any other thing. Whatever he says, we have to accept it. In unstructured interview, we can ask in a number of questions to get the information. There is no limit till we get the information. So these are the two things. There is an advantage and disadvantage in both the things. So most of the times in interviews, we will mingle these two, structured as well as unstructured interview. We will combine and we will use it to get the more information. So here the success of the interview mostly depends upon the interviewer. If she is good, she or he, interviewer is good, analytical, and frame the questions appropriately and get the information from the interviewee positively, then the interview will be success. The purpose is we have to find out the actual information from the interview. Not even in a job interviews, we have to find, we don't want to make the person afraid and go away, make tense. What we want is, we want to find out the actual capacities of the interview, the interviewee. Hence, we have to conduct. Then the success depends upon the interviewer skills. Interviewer needs a lot of skills. So this is about rapport building and then conducting the interview. And the other important skill which the interviewer should have is, whatever the interviewee says, you have to listen carefully. Listening is very, very important, because there is no writing. Listening is important. These are the three important skills which are very, very important for conducting interviews. In this aspect, I will tell you, there is a question is given for you to write in the. So before doing that, you write something about the interview, and then you have to write down the prepared question. What is the objective of your interview? There are 5 questions, 5 or 6 questions are given. For each question, there is an objective. For the first question, there is an objective. We want to find out the information regarding his ideas regarding aging process or like that. Each question is having an objective. So you have to prepare 1 or 2 questions before that. And whatever the information is given, you can write out. Based on the information, you have to write the conclusion. There are 5 questions. Remember, 5 questions are given. Each question, the objective of what is the information you want to gather from them is the objective. What are the questions you planned? That is, you structured. And what are the unstructured questions you asked? You can ask some of the unstructured thing also till we get the information. So, for each question, you have to write the structured questions and use some of the unstructured questions. What is the, after listening, you have to write down the information you got. Based on that, you have to write the conclusion. For all the 5 questions, you have to write like that. Okay? Are you clear about this interview?
Yes,
Ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can
Ma'am,
ask. You can.
can you please take one example and please explain? There are
Yes.
6 topics actually.
To understand the process of aging, this is the first question given there. The objective of this this is the objective to understand. We have to understand the process of aging is an objective. For that, you prepare some of the questions. What are the questions I have to ask? What is your opinion about aging? Now you go on telling something. How do you prepared yourself for your aging process? Like that, 2-3 questions. After listening from him, you will get some more doubts, and you can ask unstructured questions also there. Okay, 2-3. You do not ask 100 questions for each question. 2-3 questions are enough till you get the information about aging process. His opinion, his idea, and his personal experience. 3 things. His idea about aging, and his personal experience, and what is his experience. His experience. You have to take the 2-3 questions you can ask. Family profile you can take because he is an elderly person. You have the children, grandchildren, whatever is that, you have to take the entire profile of the family. Right?
Yeah, madam, there is some doubt of the third question in from RC Pune, madam.
What
There
is
is
that?
some doubt from students that third question is, please repeat the third question.
What is the third question is? What is that? I have not.
Thoughts on aging and have they changed over the years?
Yeah, thoughts on aging and as they changed over the years. So you can ask the person, what are your thoughts about aging? When you have not reached that age, what are your thoughts? Then I am having some thoughts about aging. Aging, physical decline takes place. I am not able to move away. How to handle my life? How to change my lifestyle? These are the thoughts I am having about aging. Yeah, these are the thoughts I am having about my aging. So you can ask the questions what are your thoughts of aging regarding your physical movement, regarding your social behavior, regarding your occupation. You can ask questions like that so that they will tell you about their ideas regarding about your social behavior, because I am dependent on somebody for movement. So what are your thoughts? How do you want to overtake that? How do you spend your time after 60? Because it is 60. So you can understand by asking some of the structured questions. You can tell them, right? Okay? Is it okay?
Yeah, madam. Thank you very much.
Okay, right. Like that, you have to think about that.
Another thing is for this interviewing skills in second year MA psychology program, interviewing skills, one practical component is there. If anybody wants to see the practical interviewing pro forma, it is there. Just you go to the Google search MPCE 014 MPCE 014 practical guide of second year. Just PDF will be downloaded. You can see that page number 10 to 14. So interviewing practical skills, it is there 4 pages. You can follow the format and say in that format you can ask these 5 or 6 questions and get the information and write down. So you will get more than 7 to 8 pages. So format.
Sir, can you please repeat? Excuse me, sir. Can you please repeat?
MPCE 014. MPCE 014. MA Psychology second year practical handbook. So PDF 30 pages are there. Page number 10 to 14. This practical interviewing practical. So you can follow that format also.
Yes, sir. One question from madam, also from RC
Yes,
Pune.
yes.
That one of the student is asking about he can take he or she may take the interview of own parent in any case study.
Yes, what he
Yes.
is telling is you can use the family members also. You can use.
Not for the self, but they can take family members.
Family
Yeah, thank you
members
very
they
much.
can
Thank
take.
you.
If the
They
candidate
can take family.
or learner itself above 60 years, he is not eligible. But if learner below 60 years, he can take the family members. Because
Family member.
in our students, more than 70 years aged people also there.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And one more thing is for practical record purpose, front page and certificate. Just I have gone through our practical handbook. So last appendix 1 and 2 are the front page and certificate is there. Just you take down from our practical handbook itself. There is no need not to write your separately. So already pro formas are there. Certificate and front page, just directly you take from your handbook and paste it to your record. Next,
sir, one other question is there, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, student is asking about how much word limit required for each case.
No, not what requirement we are not telling, but 4 to 5 pages, even written or typed.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Shall we go? Yes.
So while we are interviewing, do we need any authorization from the person, the interviewee?
Consent.
Yes.
Consent.
Yes.
You have to take the consent from the interview. For all psychology practicals, the consent of the person is very much needed. Without consent, you are not supposed to do.
If they are not willing, don't do any interview. If they are willing to give information only, you can approach them. Then only you can collect the information.
No, sir. My question is, do we need that in written form or?
Oh, no.
No need of written form.
Yeah.
Just oral consent. If they are agree, you can interview them.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Next question, madam.
Locus of control and rotted theory of locus of control. Let us say this is a whole theory, but the test is given for you. The locus of control and rotted theory. This is a personality theory. This is a belief about personal efficacy. The main concept is this is a belief of an individual on their personal efficacy. So this is called as locus of control is a stable belief about one's personal efficacy. So there are two aspects in this. In two ways, we can believe ourselves. How I believe myself. How I believe. There are two things. One is internal locus of control, which refers to the tendency to perceive the life outcomes as a result of one's action and to be under one's control. This is called internal locus of control. Whatever happened to me, whatever situations occurred to me, in all these things, my actions are responsible. Because of my action, I am able to get the job. Because of my ability and my action, I am able to do the thing well. So this is called, for everything, whatever situations happen, I believe 100%, I am responsible. My abilities are responsible. This is called as internal locus of control. Internal. My ability, myself, my actions, I believe that the success happened only because of me. Because of me, I am able to get that. This is called as internal locus of control. People believe, this is a belief. We don't say that what are the reasons, we don't say that. Belief is beyond reason. This belief, I may develop the belief due to socialization process or due to my experience or due to my culture, whatever is that. Belief, we don't question the belief. Some people are having the belief that every situation happened to them is because of their internal actions and I did this like this. This is the result of my action. So this is called as internal locus of control. External locus of control means there are some people who believe that the situations and the things happen only because of the chance factors or powerful others, or because of others I am able to be here. Because of chance, by chance I got there. Chance means by luck, or because of other people. My role is, I don't have, my role is zero. Total external locus of control means my role is zero in the situation what happened, and the external factors because of others, because of powerful others, I am like that. I am in this situation because of so and so. I failed because of so and so. I failed because of so and so. My situation, I am pathetic and I am sad because of so and so. Always, because what we call in India, we used to say because of my karma, my luck, unfortunateness, I am here. So all this is external locus of control. Locus of control is the belief of oneself on the situations, on the outer situations about their self-efficacy. Self-efficacy. Efficacy means belief. Self-efficacy. Personal efficacy. So the personal efficacy may be internal, thinking that everything for what happened is I am responsible, my abilities and my actions are responsible, or external responsible. External factors, luck and chance are responsible. I think you are clear about this internal locus of control and external locus of control. This is not, we say, they are in a continuum. We don't say that totally internal people are there, totally external people are there. It is a continuum. You may be more towards external locus of control, or you may be more towards, no 100%. No 100%. Sometimes you may say that you may express, what you express more number of times is your locus of control. Not 100%. Remember that. For any behavior, there is no question of 100%. No personality trait is 100%. It is a continuum. It is a dimension. External to internal. Yes. Yes,
Ma'am, regarding locus of control, ma'am, how do we write the experiment? Like locus of
I will
control.
tell you. There is no experiment here. For locus of control, if you go to and search out, there is a questionnaire. There is a questionnaire consisting of 29 questions, and for each question there are two options, A and B. You can do it yourself first, and what they are asking you, do it yourself and give somebody. Read the instructions. I told you about the importance of instructions. The instructions are given there. Till your subject understands the instruction, tell them. And for each statement, there are A and B. Whichever applies to you in most of the times. Don't say 100%. Whichever applies to you in most of the times, you put a tick mark for that, either A or B, not two. Don't put tick mark to A and B. Write either A or B. One of the things only you have to put a tick mark. And you have to answer all the questions. That is important. 29 questions, 20, I think it is 35 or so, the number I didn't remember. But the questions are there. 29. And there are 29 questions are there. And in the 29 questions, you have to write you will ask the subject to make the tick marks. And after that, there is a scoring key under that. Suppose for A question 1 is there, no 7 questions are not given answers. In that, you don't get all the answers are not given in that scoring key. Some 5 or 6, there won't be any answers for that. Correct answers are not there. They are the questions to test the life score and like that. Forget about them. Whatever the answers which were given in the scoring key, you just do it. Maximum is 23 questions. They are given 23 answers for 23 questions, and they left all the 6 questions. So don't worry about those 6 questions. Put a tick mark, count the number of answers which are as per the scoring key. Which are as per the scoring key. Count the number. You may get a score 0 to 23. 0 to 23. Put a mark 0 to 23 and whether this is towards externality or towards internality, you can conclude by this question. For this, you go through your manuals, you will get the procedure. You have to write the introduction about the theory and write about the materials. The material is nothing but this, what is that, questionnaire. Questionnaire material is there, Rotter's extroversion in locus of control scale. And write about there are 7 steps were given in the manual. You have to follow all the steps. Write the profile of the individual, instructions, profile, and after that scoring. And after that you have to interpret what is the result you have obtained about the subject. Okay? Right? Clear? Anything? Any clarifications regarding this locus of control?
Already
Yes.
questions are there, madam. They can answer the questions and format is there in their handbook. So
I think there are no questions, I think, on routers. Questions
Yeah.
are there? No.
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 Questionnaire is there, no, madam.
Question is there in their thing, in their
video
website
link,
itself.
in video link.
Video
questionnaire
link.
is there.
Video link, they have given the questionnaire.
So
Questionnaire
they
is
can
given in
follow
the
that and format for
Yeah.
writing the this practical already in our manual. First, third or fourth page itself, they have given the writing the practical record format. So you can follow the same format for this practical. And next practical CATILS 16 PF also there in your first year
manual.
practical manual. So same procedure, same format you have to follow. Only your experiment and your result part only you have to discuss your own. Remaining is just you can follow as per the format given in the practical manual.
Yes.
Madam, please excuse me.
Yes.
One question from RC Pune is that writing class. Please repeat that writing part. How to write it?
How to write it? There is a for this for routers. For is it for which question you are asking?
That one.
Routers locus of control. You have to locus of control. There is a test. Test you have to take it.
Locus of control. There is a video link. So they have to go through the video link and give the test to the concerned subject. So they give the answers. Based on that, they can write the procedure part and discussion part. Remaining format already in our MPCL 007 handbook practicum is there. The same format they have to follow.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes. Then coming to the 16 PF test, as sir has given the test and the introduction of the test is there. This is a personality test. Remember, for personality test, there is no time limit. No time limit. They can do. They can take their own time, but you need not insist on the time. So in this 16 PF personality test, there are 16 dimensions are taken. And there are 185 questions are there for 16 PF, and it takes nearly 1 hour. I can say the 50 minutes to 1 hour to complete that. So try to find out a subject who can spend that much time, and you have to write on it. It is a dimensions only. Here also all personality don't say 0, yes or no. They are in a dimension. You will have some a little or more. That's all. If any personality test, that is the thing. This personality test is widely used for, it can be used for career counseling, marital counseling, or job selection. This is the purpose of all these tests. And the scoring key is there, that is also there. After getting the scoring key, you have to convert them into STEM scores. The table is also there. If the STEM score is between 5 and 6, you can say that the individual is normal and the particular dimension. There are 16 dimensions. The particular dimension, you can say the person is normal if the STEM score is between 5 and 6. If the STEM score is between 1 and 3 for any dimension, then you can say that the person is low in that particular personality trait. And if it is 8 and 10, between 8 and 10, these are the STEM scores. then you can say that the person is having strong in that particular personality trait. So this is the conclusion you have to make, and you have to take the test from the, there is, then it takes long time, but still there are 16 dimensions are there. That's why it is widely used. It is widely used to test, even though it is the old one. Even today, there are so many revisions are there and they are using the test. You have to follow the pro forma given in the manual, like introduction material, like that.
If anybody tried to open this 16 PF video link, is it opening?
Yes, sir.
No.
It's opening.
The questions are not coming.
No, sir. It is only mentioning introduction, procedure,
Yes,
and
that's
informed
all.
consent.
That's all. No questionnaire is. I think there is an online test. Online test, 16 PF online test is there. You can go through that.
Madam, already in link, one link they have given the video itself. So if you are click on that, automatically questionnaire will be opened, online questionnaire.
Yes, sir. Questions
No,
are
no, questionnaire is not opening.
Questionnaire is not opening, no problem. I have the questionnaire. I will send to all the candidates by email, because for BA psychology also the same.
Yes, the same test is there.
So we have informed to headquarters. They have given the new link. So last week we have given that new link to the learners, and they have performed the test. So the same link I will send to you, all the candidates, so you can perform your own, no problem at all. Tomorrow I will send you, or today itself, if possible, today itself evening I will send you.
Sir, one little clarification here, sir. Actually, test paper is there, sir. If you see, it is very small. Start button at the end of informed consent.
Yeah, by clicking on
After
the start
that, if you click there, it will go to another page.
Mm.
Where it will take, I take time out for others. All these questions are mentioned, sir. That is appearing. I'm sorry, I did not. Just now, Sujata ji pointed out. So then I clicked. So that is there. If you click on the start button on the page itself.
So I have the link. That one already last week I tried that, but all the questions I have answered. So the same link I will send to you.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
that's better. That is.
Maybe
But,
some people.
But only thing after scoring, after complete the test, score will also appear.
Yes, sir.
How many questions they have answered, how many questions not answered. So you can calculate that based on that. No problem. I will send you to today or tomorrow.
Sir, one doubt, sir. Do we need to take the printout of
or otherwise you can go to the online Google 16 PF online questionnaire. So it will open and you can do also, no problem at all. Any questions?
So we need the printout of that now, sir?
Yes, that questionnaire you have to take printout and keep it in the practical also.
Yes.
Wherever the questionnaires are there, if you perform the test on others, so take that test printout and keep it in your practical backside.
Rotter's test also you have to put it.
Yes.
Only Rotter's and this one, these two. There are only 2 tests, I think, you are having.
Yeah, one question is there from Pune, madam.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
After completing the test, the final score, we can take the snapshot of this.
Final score?
No, after completing the test, they can take all the questions, print out of the questionnaire. Then they will put into the record.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So they have to fill the questionnaire through online, and a score will be appeared. So that screenshot will take out the print, and also all the questions, 180 questions, they will take one printout and keep it into the practical record.
Sir, where are the questions, sir?
The link?
Video link, just you click on that video link, automatically questions will be appeared. So some people are telling that this present link is not working. I will send you the new link for this 16 PF cattle link today evening or tomorrow. So based on that, you can perform the test. So I think 189 questions are there.
Sir, can I take this test on myself?
Yeah,
You do it yourself. Otherwise,
do it yourself first. After that, you can perform others also. If you are having time and patience. Even for me, yeah, nearly it was took 1.5 hour time.
1 hour, more than 1 hour it takes.
Okay, next test.
Is it on halo effect?
Yeah.
Halo effect. So halo effect is the error in reasoning. The error in reason, already the impression formed earlier on a one single trait will have an impact on assessing the total person. This is called as a halo effect. So we will see a person in a single event or single trait. Based on this, you will make the total assessment of the person. Total assessment of the person. This is called as a halo effect. I will tell you so many examples of that. We will come across many times. Suppose if you are evaluating a paper, if the first question the individual writes very well, and the second question very well, then we thought that the person this will have a halo effect on the examiner, that he will write everything well. Then third, fourth questions, we will give more marks even though it is less. This happens. This halo effect, without our knowledge, we will assess a person based on a single thing. We will make some impressions, and by looking at the single thing, we will make an impression of that, and we will assess globally, totally we will assess. This impact is called as a halo effect. It is a lot of research. It was the concept was emerged in 1970, but as it has a lot of impact in the marketing and in advertising, people are following this. It has a lot of importance. So in 1970, Nisbet and Wilson, they demonstrated a small experiment with their college students, and why the students about the judgment of a teacher. So based on one event, they judged the entire personality of the teacher. So because he helped me, because the particular teacher helped me in an occasion, because I like him because of his teaching. This is only one. Based on this one aspect, I judged all the remaining aspects also in a positive way. Suppose if this happens even in impression, you might have seen that impression management, the first impressions may have lot of impact, but for developing halo effect on that. So the halo effect is a type of cognitive, it is a bias. It is a cognitive bias, a bias in understanding based on a single event or few events. We are able to judge the person globally, means totally. Totally, we are judging for everything. Most of the time, we are using this theory. So here, on specific traits, even though we don't know, we will judge the person like that. And this is being applied in many in many areas, especially when usually, how do you get halo effect? A beautiful physical appearance. If good-looking individuals appears to be more intelligent and more successful and more popular. This is the halo effect based on the physical looks. Based on the looks, I am making so many comments. So this is a halo effect. Halo effect has implications for customer experience in marketing. That's why they are using lot of that. When I can say that a toothpaste is a new toothpaste was in market, and they are advertising this is the paste belongs to the particular brand. We know that brand, of course it is a brand image, but still they said this is the thing based on the one aspect we are purchasing this. This is the halo effect. This is the halo effect. Because the other thing is good, we are thinking that this should also be good, especially in marketing. So sometimes the perception of beautiful things, we think they are good. The packing and all one product product promotion they use all these halo effect tips in advertising. Usually when people are sociable and kind, and for then we can say that they are more likable and more intelligent. Based on some of the traits, one or two single traits, we are assessing the total personality. This is called as a halo effect. So it has a lot of applications. The applications write down something about the halo effect. The experiment conducted by this Nisbet and Wilson in, I think it is in 1970, they conducted in a college condition, and write down the experiment. Write down the experiment. There are number of applications, more applications they are using this halo effect in advertising and also in sales, marketing, and in implications. Even the personality sometimes because he is the person belonging to having one single character, we are making the total picture of the particular person. Even in politics it happens. And everywhere in social life it has an impact. You can write some of the applications, more applications in assessing about the physical appearance makes a lot of impact on assessing a person. So these are the things which you have to take down about, write down an experiment of halo effect and then write down its impact in a number of experiments were conducted on this halo effect and found it do works in many conditions. This is a normal procedure, error in cognition, and this is common also. You write down the percentile. Okay. So anything about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Clear? You have to write down the experiment of this and you answer the questions. Applications mainly in marketing and in advertising, and what I can say that everywhere in personality assessment, in making friends,
Okay.
as many things as in every aspect we will have some halo effect. In examination, paper evaluation, we are having halo effect. So impact of halo effect. Okay. So 3 questions are given under that. You write an experiment and write down the answer as you think. So you can write some of the applications also. So this perceptual error and cognitive error, bias, you can say that, use those terms. It is a cognitive bias and perceptual error. It is an error. Halo effect is an error. Remember that. This is important. Okay. So anything more? Yes. Sir.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. We have 10 minutes time.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me.
Answers.
Sir,
You can,
ma'am, while writing
One by one.
Yes.
Yeah, sir, this is Sujata, sir. Ma'am, hi, ma'am. While writing the record, if I get any doubts, so whom shall I have
to contact? So, madam is not available. I am also not available. Write your own only. Don't worry about that.
You write your own interpretation.
If any mistake is there, also we will not catch you. So no problem. Next year, second year, face-to-face practical time, we have a lot of doubts and we can interact with others and we can clarify our doubts. Now there is no.
No, if there is any doubt, you can talk now itself. If you are having while writing.
Yeah, madam. Madam
Yes.
from Pune.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, there are 2 questions from Facebook Live. The number one is there any another reference book? Additional reference book is there.
What? For writing this? Writing
Yeah.
these things? You can search in the Google. There is no book like that. All these experiments they have taken in general. In general. Not prescribed experiments were not given for you because there is no opportunity for you to come to the lab and do the experiment. Some of the experiment only testing, no instrumental things were given. but not given to you. But earlier there is an instrumental thing also there. Because of the pandemic condition, they have given this list. You can get some of the answers from the Google. You can get this. Okay?
Madam, another I am adding to that. Already in handbook, our practical manual handbook itself, they have given 3 reference books in the first 2-3 pages, so they can go through that also.
Yeah. Another question is that the repo building status. While doing the practical, is there a need to write the repo building status?
Yes, you have to write that. In the procedure, you have to write how you wrap out. Yes, you have to write.
How they have maintained the repo, they have to mention.
You have to write. You have to mention. Yes.
And
So,
last question is behavior means in a hollow effect of the 4th question. Please explain is that.
What is that?
Halo effect.
Halo effect?
Yeah, madam. Yeah.
Is there any relationship between learned behavior and halo effect? For that, they are asking some clarification.
Clarification. Learned behavior and halo effect. Learned behavior is not an error. Usually we are learning that, and halo effect is different. Based on it is a cognitive and perceptual error. I am telling you again and again. In learning, there won't be any errors. Error may occur, but this is totally different. Learned behavior is different from halo effect. Halo effect is a psychological perception and cognitive error. It is different totally. Halo effect is different. Based on one single thing, we are just imagining, and globally we are making a conclusion. But learning, we don't do that. Learning is different. Yes. Learning is a systematic procedure.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Sir, Puna sir, please announce regarding submission of online link. Already I have informed. Again, just inform, sir.
Yeah, is already in that whichever schedule has been given to the student, the link has been already given in that schedule also.
Okay. Yeah. So we have informed our learners April 5th. For you also no problem, sir.
Yes, sir.
April 5th is the last date we have given.
No, sir, for Pune it is the 31st March, sir.
31st March. Okay.
Sir, one other question is from that. I don't know about that. The consent, whichever the consent is there, it is for oral consent is required or what?
Oral consent. Oral consent. For experiments.
Okay,
yes. That's
oral
enough.
Consent is enough.
Enough. So the main purpose is if they are not willing, they don't do it with their attention. That's the main thing. If they are willing to do the experiment and doing that, so that they can put their mind on that. So that is the main. Yes. So some people may not like to be assessed.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, I want to ask, sir, regarding the previous video recordings links.
Previous video recordings already we have sent to all the learners.
Yes, sir. I have received 2 of the links, sir. MPC 002 and 005 has been received, and other parts I didn't receive. So I think I have missed that mail or something. So I have kept a mail to regional office Vijayawada also, sir. A few weeks back. So can you please, any way is there, sir? Where we can find?
Okay, we'll check with our people and we'll send you.
Yeah, for us also 2 only, sir. We got only 2 videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, we will send all the links to all the people.
Yeah, that's
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
In addition to those links, this practical today's link also we will send you. So Monday we do it.
You will send this practical link also to us, sir.
Yeah,
Prasad sir,
this practical
actually so many
counseling
questions is
session
asking
link
about that.
already it is in YouTube. So that YouTube link also we will send you.
Sir,
Okay,
hello.
sir.
So attendance is compulsory as per our headquarter instructions. But based on that only we will take up the records. Or otherwise again they have to attend the regional center for 2 or 3 hours and sit there, and then only we give the attendance. Okay. So thank you very much, madam. Dr. T.D. Vimla madam has given excellent explanation about the practical component. For last 10 years, she has been taking the practical classes for the MA Psychology first and second years in face-to-face mode. This year, we have organized already theory classes online mode and practical sessions also online mode. So madam is highly experienced and explained neatly. I think all the learners do not have the doubts now. If you have doubts also, you can discuss with your friends and clarify. Now, madam is busy with other works, and I am also busy with my office works. So during your office hours, so we are not entertaining the questions. So you can ask your friends or make it your WhatsApp group and discuss with your friends.
Yes.
Sir, we have already sent our attendance by message with our enrollment number.
Yeah.
Is it enough?
Already in chat box it is there. I will take out the printout and I'll keep it, check with your records also. So it is in record only, no problem. Sir. So chat box we will take out the printout. So thank you very much, madam, and thank you for all the learners for participating today. And Regional Center Pune, Dr. D.R. Sharma, Regional Director, and Assistant Regional Director, Saunan Sir, and Rajendra Prasad, and other.
Sir, I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, this is Dr. Prasad from RC Pune.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Prasad Babu sir, Dr. Tumulari madam. It was a very nice session. I was hearing from the beginning. I hope all the learners benefited from the regional center Pune. It was very useful session for our learners. Over here, sir, we'll instruct all the learners as per the guidelines that is given by you, and already instructed, provided some link for practical file submission and the last date. And many more. If any more information that needs to be communicated to our learners regarding, you said there is a link that you will be giving which is not working at present.
Yeah.
So you can share that. Okay. We'll be sharing the same to our learners also, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much, sir, and madam also. Hope we'll be associated in future also to benefit our learners. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.